It's time now for Down on the Corner with Dale Hoffman, North Central Arkansas's premier news talk program. Brought to you by Sears Hometown Store, locally owned and operated right here in Mountain Home.
Good morning, North Central Arkansas, Southern Missouri. It is Wednesday, October 7th, 2020. It is 7 a.m. and another beautiful day in store for North Central Arkansas and Southern Missouri.
I'm loving the mornings.
Wow.
I just love it.
Wow.
Love the temperature, love everything.
Very nice weather. I tell you what, we could use some rain, but, you know, it's just, we'll get the rain. It'll come. But in the meantime, enjoy the low humidity, nice temperatures.
I'm liking it.
Blue skies.
I am definitely liking it.
Wow, beautiful weather. Good morning. Welcome to Down on the Corner program. Hope your Wednesday is off to a really good start. It's hump day, you know, today.
Hump day!
Yeah, what you got coming up on Friday in football? Who we're playing at home?
Yeah, Van Buren. It's homecoming.
It is?
Yes. Homecoming this week, this Friday, and we are playing Van Buren, 7 o'clock.
Gonna be good.
We will be broadcasting it live here on TV for those that can't make it, but still, it's nothing like being in the seat in the stands watching.
Yeah,
but when you can't, we got you covered.
Got you covered. All right, that's coming up Friday night at 7 o'clock pregame at 6:30?
Yep.
All right. Down on the Corner is brought to you by your hometown Sears store here in Mountain Home at 1029 Highway 62. That's up on the hill behind Wendy's. 870-425-3191 is their phone number. Like I say, up on the hill behind Wendy's, the same parking lot as Orscheln's, out in front of Physical Therapy Connection. Your hometown Sears store is your first stop for appliances like KitchenAid, Kenmore, Whirlpool, all name brands. Then you got Craftsman Tools. You've got Husqvarna lawn care equipment, and of course Craftsman and all other good things at Sears. So before you check anywhere else, stop at your hometown Sears store. Why? Because they're locally owned and operated. Local people, taking care of local people. The money's invested here. It stays at home. The taxes are paid. And it just, like I say, it just stays right here. You invest in your own community with your hometown Sears store. They'll bend over backwards to serve you. They have the repair facilities both at your home or at the Sears store.
And that's for both appliances or your outdoor equipment.
There you go.
So they can work on either one.
There you go. Your hometown Sears store, locally owned and operated. That's very, very important. It's just what we call a mom and pop shop, and they do such good work. You just can't beat what they do at Sears. Like I say, the very best in home appliances, home entertainment, tools, lawn care equipment, anything you need. Check with Sears first. You know, it used to be years ago, before Walmart, that's where you went.
Yeah.
That's where you went.
I can believe it.
I mean,
back in the day, you could buy shoes and all
pants,
sorts
shirt,
of stuff.
yeah.
But now it's mainly appliances, household stuff, and then your yard equipment and all that they carry. But they'll service anything. I mean, it doesn't matter if you bought it from them or not. You got something that's not running right and you need it serviced, bring it in. They've also got something really cool, these maintenance agreements, they call it, where they come out and they will service your appliance and clean it and make sure everything's running efficient and try to save you money that way.
There you go. The advantages of your hometown Sears store in Mountain Home. We want to invite folks from Ozark County, Missouri, Marion County, Searcy County. Doesn't matter what county, come on in. Love to have you visit your hometown Sears store. Once again, up on the hill behind Wendy's, out in front of Physical Therapy Connection. And same parking lot as Orscheln's here in Mountain Home. 425-3191 is their phone number. Give them a call or feel free to stop by. I'd love to have you stop by your hometown Sears store. I'm enjoying Brewed Awakening coffee. You can do the same thing with 3 locations here to serve you in Mountain Home. Of course, you got Baxter Regional Medical Center's main entrance lobby. And follow the rules and regulations concerning the virus protection and whatever the protocol is, just follow that. Other than that, you've got Bomber Boulevard, which is a drive-through on either side of the little building. Same thing on 62 East Plaza out in front of Anytime Fitness. You drive either side of the building to get the best coffee in town. Brewed Awakening is the very best coffee in town. As Mike says, hey, we're real coffee. When he needs beans, coffee beans, he calls up, I need X amount of pounds of beans. They get them roasted and ship them out within 24 hours. So you have the freshest ground roasted coffee beans in North Central Arkansas and Southern Missouri. Brewed Awakening coffee is real coffee, as Mike says. Mike and staff do a great job at all 3 locations. They're ready to serve you today. What time is it? 7:05. Bomber Boulevard will be getting busy here in about 20, 30 minutes with all the people going in and out for the schools. But other than that, stop by any of the 3 locations. You won't be disappointed in that coffee, let me tell you.
You won't be disappointed in their cinnamon rolls either. Just saying, because I'm not a big coffee person. I won't make any bones about it. I'm not going to go out and buy a cup of coffee if I've got a coffee maker at home, if it's really cold or something like that. But their cinnamon rolls are worth driving in for.
Ooh,
they really are. They're huge. They're good. Yeah. They're plate size. They're a meal
I tell you.
On their own right there.
Excuse me. Yeah, the cinnamon rolls are really good. Like I say, Mike and his staff do a fantastic job at all 3 locations. So be sure to check them out. Baxter Regional, Bomber Boulevard, 62 East Plaza, out in front of Anytime Fitness. Brewed Awakening Coffee. If you're not drinking Brewed Awakening, you're just drinking muddy water. Mike and his staff do a great job at all 3 locations. Roller Funeral Homes of Arkansas, bring the morning prayer each and every day with all our respect. Roller Funeral Homes. 29 in the state of Arkansas to serve you, with 1 in Memphis, Tennessee. Right here at Mountain Home, you talk to Bruce, Brad, Charlotte, Chris. Anyone out there can help you, steer you in the right direction. Pre-planning, death of a loved one after long illness, whatever it may be, emergency situation, let Roller handle it. They know what they're doing. Caring, loving, understanding, they will get you through a rough time. Roller Funeral Homes, with all our respect, it's amazing the work they do. These amazing people, I don't know how they do it, dealing with what they deal with, but they do it very well. Roller Funeral Homes of Arkansas, right here in Mountain Home. Can't say enough good things. With all our respect, it's how they do business on a daily basis. And when the need arises, Roller Funeral Homes. They bring you morning prayer each and every day. So let's pause now for our morning prayer. Heavenly Father, with all that's happening with COVID-19, I'm sure medication is being used in record levels across the country. And Lord, I pray for the sick to be healed, but sometimes, and I really can't explain it, people can get addicted to the medications. Lord, any addiction to any drug, prescription or legal, has to just be horrible. The substance is in control. Yes, people suffer from all kinds of issues in the medical field, and medicine is necessary. But today I pray for those hooked on the meds when the medicine is not needed, that they will get back and get the help they needed to end the addiction. My prayer today, Lord, of course, is heal the sick and end the virus. It's my prayer today. Amen. Roller Funeral Homes of Arkansas, bring the morning prayer each and every day with all our respect. Roller Funeral Homes.
And now,
here it comes.
Dun, 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 the weather.
That didn't hurt a bit.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was, pat myself on the back for that one.
Did we ever get the county judge to do that yesterday?
No. He didn't. I would have recorded that. Use that for blackmail.
We can get lower taxes on that. Okay, you lower our taxes and we're going to not play the trumpet, right? Boy, I hope he's not watching right now. Morning weather brought to you by the Z-Team. Bob and Linda Zadora for all your real estate needs. 870-405-0793. RetireToArkansas.net. Well, we've been 2 days in a row with heavy fog over the river. Let's see what we got today looking at the White River.
Heavy fog. This is heavier.
Boy, this is a heavy fog.
Before you were able to see through it a little bit, but this morning it is foggy.
Well, the cameras in Marion County, Arkansas, looking into Cotter, Arkansas, and Baxter County. This is what the shot looks like in about 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon in early to mid-October, about 2 years ago. And like I say, the cameras in Marion County, the river separates Baxter and Marion County. As you look into Cotter, Arkansas, you see the bridge on the left side of the screen, Missouri state line at the horizon, and Mountain Home to the right-hand side of the screen. You can go to RetireToArkansas.net, and you can pull this up throughout the day. And, of course, you're going to see some fog early in the morning. It'll burn off. Clear skies up above, and so the sunlight will burn that off probably around 8:30, 9 o'clock. And by that time, it's going to be a very pretty shot. And so be sure to check it out, RetireToArkansas.net. While you're out there, you can check all the listings with Bob and Linda Zadora and the Z-Team. And check out the Century 21 listings through Century 21 Lemac Real Estate. And if you have
you can check the whole MLS.
Yeah,
you don't even have to have the number.
The whole MLS. You
just bring it up. They'll have every home that's available in the MLS on their site. So
the award-winning Z-Team, Bob and Linda Zadora, the team is ready to serve you today from Marshall to Mountain View, Arkansas to Mountain View, Missouri, back down to Sonoma and Gainesville and West Plains. So be sure to call the Z-Team. Pack your bag first before you call the Z-Team, because they will get your house sold. And like Bob said last time, I've got all these lonesome for sale signs I need to put somebody's yard.
Help us find that sign of home.
Find the sign of home. There you go. Bob and Linda Zadora, the Z-Team, for all your real estate needs. 870-405-0793, retiredarkansas.net. They bring you the morning weather each and every day. So right now we're looking at 57 degrees, a very pleasant 57 degrees outside the Mountain Home. 53 at Harrison, 56 at Batesville, 57 at both Salem and Calico Rock. Flippin checks in at 51. Cooler at Marshall, where it's 46 at Marshall, 57 at West Plains. Around the region, St. Louis checks in at 58, 51 at Poplar Bluff, 54 in Springfield. And in contrast, 55 degrees, 2 degrees difference between here and Watford City, North Dakota. Back in February, it'd be like minus 40 up there and 55 here. You know, like, ooh.
Give it time.
95 degrees difference there. That's horrible. Not much rain again on the radar in the United States. Most of the country dry. We've got a little bit of shower activity in western New York coming in around the Buffalo area. Let me zoom in a little bit so we kind of see this. Coming into Buffalo, New York on the western edge there, and it'll be all the way up into Montreal and Quebec, Canada. And a little bit of shower activity moving out of the state of Maine, a little bit around Concord, New Hampshire, and that's basically it. How'd Colonel Potter say it in MASH? We're as dry as a humpless camel in the sunset, you know. Arkansas, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Tennessee, Kentucky. Yeah, pretty dry. Anyway, check those highways for you. In Arkansas, 62, 412, east and west, 65 going to Branson. Highway 67, 167, Little Rock, Batesville, and on up into Poplar Bluff for the highway split. Interstates 30, 40, 49, 55, 555, 530 in Arkansas look like they're in good shape. State of Missouri, 60, 160, 61, 67, 63, all clear at this time. 65 going into Springfield, on up to Sedalia. Interstate 70, 44, 49, 29, 55. Well, I'm not finding anything out there at all. Interstate 64, East St. Louis, Illinois, east towards Mount Vernon. I-57 and at 64, no showers there. Cairo, Illinois, Paducah, Kentucky, clear as a bell. Wow. No watches or warnings for Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri. Louisiana coastline will be getting some. We do have the hurricane. It is now a Cat 4, I believe they said. And you can see from the southern tip of Texas all the way over near the panhandle of Florida. So, you know, this is getting pretty critical here. So thoughts and prayers for those across the Gulf coastline. I hope we get some of that rain. I don't know if it's going to track this way or not. I haven't seen the track models in a day or so. 7-day forecast for today. High of 86 today.
It's getting back up there.
There it is. That's almost 90, you know. 86 today, partly.
His 90-year breaking point. This is too hot.
Yeah, no. It's all right. 86 today, 83 Thursday, 77 with a slight chance of showers on Friday, 20% chance. Then 78 on Saturday and 78 on Sunday. Checking the state of Arkansas highways real quick. Where we at? 13 after the hour. Got 2 more minutes to get this done. This just popped up. I have an accident on Highway 79, southbound lane, right shoulder affected. Arkansas Department of Transportation reporting this. And it's a 1/10 of a mile southwest of Highway 273. And I show you this, and I know it's 200 miles to that accident, but just how to navigate this screen and what to look for. And this is one of the things that you look for. If you see one of these up around the Mountain Home area, then there'd been an accident or some incident up here. Missouri Department of Transportation, everything's looking good here on Highway 160, 65, and Highway 60 and Highway 67. No problems there. Lake levels, we are at 664.71. That's 5.71 feet. Excuse me, above the pool of 659. Norfolk Lake is sitting at 557.11. 5.1 feet above 552. Not much in the allergies today. 2.6 today, 2.4 tomorrow. Ragweed's the only one showing up. Arkansas Department of Health, your coronavirus update. We have active in the 6-county area of Baxter, Marion, Searcy, Stone, Izzard, and Fulton, 196. Cumulative 1,525 with recovery of 1,304. Active to the population is 0.00186%. Recovery to population is 0.01243%. And the cumulative to population is 0.01453. So out of 104,900 people, 196 are active, 1,304 have recovered, with 1,525 being total cumulative cases. Crude oil prices today, we're sitting at $39.45. It dropped just a little bit. The Dow Jones dropped 375.88 yesterday on news of the $1,200 stimulus checks and how they're trying to get that done. Closed at 27,772.76. That's as of 5:03 Eastern time, and it'll come back up. Morning update, the weather and all the good stuff. Oh, it changed already.
Yeah, and it was. I should have put it up a minute ago. It was all the way down to the horizon line. It was just really pretty. I was hoping it would hold that.
Wow, but it's still a pretty shot. Look at that clear sky and the sunrise coming in over the fog. Isn't that beautiful? Wow. Check that out at retiredtoarkansas.net and look for the live webcam. Coming up on 7:16, Jamie Leach here from First Step. After the break, be right back.
Diatley Dental Care is a family-owned dental practice. Doctors Irvin and Christina Diatley grew up in the Twin Lakes area and are proud to serve the community. With modern treatment methods and state-of-the-art technology, they are dedicated to providing exemplary care to patients of all ages. Our compassionate team consistently receives training above and beyond the standard of care.
We're changing the way you see dentistry.
Come be a part of our dental family.
At MSI, they're not just another trash service. They're your friendly, family-owned and operated trash service, providing residential, commercial, and roll-off pickup. MSI offers competitive rates and services 5 counties in the north central Arkansas area. Various dumpster sizes available for commercial and accommodating you with weekly pickup for your convenience. Call Tammy or Kathy today at MSI. MSI Trash Service, small enough to know you and large enough to service you.
Hi, we're Bob and Linda Zadora, the Z Team at Century 21 Lemac Realty, and we'd like you to meet the rest of our team.
When you are working with the Z Team, you will find that not only are they down-to-earth people, but they are trained professionals who work with downsizers, first-time homebuyers, and clients who may want to relocate to our beautiful Ozarks. Our team has agents who specialize in lake and river properties, listing and selling raw land, acreage, and all residential homes. Listing your property with the Z Team will help get it sold with unmatched Century 21 global marketing. You can find out more at retiredtoarkansas.net.
Hi, I'm Benny with Ammo Dump.
At Ammo Dump, they carry new and used firearms, large supply of shotguns, rifles, and handguns. Ammo Dump will buy, sell, or trade in your item and can special order whatever you like. They also have knives, scopes, ammo of any caliber, and provide gun cleaning and restoration. Call them today for the best competitive pricing around.
If I don't have it or can't get it because I don't make it, come and see us.
That's Ammo Dump, located next to Woodman's Package in Norfolk.
Did you know when you shop at Sears Hometown Stores, you are supporting your local community? That's right. Your local Sears Hometown Store is locally owned and operated by one of your neighbors. Their store offers the best of what Sears has to offer with the top brands and appliances, tools, and lawn and garden. They also offer great financing options that work no matter what you need. Remember to stop by your local Sears Hometown Store today and support a local member of your community.
Jim Brown Company keeps you cool when it's hot and warm when it's not. A trusted name in the mountain home community, Jim Brown Company provides timely heating and cooling installation and repairs. Our certified technicians incorporate new technology on every job to provide you with the most advanced services. At our metal fabrication shop, we handle projects big and small. We've created everything from commercial ducts to custom designs.
I'd recommend Jim Brown Company to my friends and neighbors. The reason being they have high-tech equipment, their service techs are well qualified for the job that they do, and they also send me a report after all the work is done so I know exactly what my unit's doing.
By visiting our showroom, you can learn all about our heating and cooling products. We'll educate you on your options and help you decide on the right solution. For total comfort at your home or business, choose Jim Brown Company. Quality service with a family name since 1964.
7:20 here, and we're back. Jamie Leach is here from First Step Baxter Regional Medical Center. Good to see you again. Good to have you.
Thank you. Good to see you guys. Thanks for having me again.
And so, we're going to be talking about getting some help from addiction. That was the basis of my morning prayer today. And
awesome.
I can't help but, nobody wants to be addicted to anything, but it happens.
It does. It does. And it's just, and it's like, I know I say this all the time, but it's really, truly like anybody in any situation. So, so many different ages of people, so many different substances, so many different reasons for getting into it, whether it was just for recreational purposes, whether it was, like we always say, you had a surgery and you started some medication and you're having a hard time coming off of it. There's just a lot of different reasons. And I'll tell you one thing that I wanted to mention, and I know people are aware of this, but so I've started back to school recently, so this is fresh on my mind, is why I guess I'm bringing it up. But I think it's important to say is that a lot of times, substance abuse and mental illness go hand in hand. And so
really?
That's a huge thing too. And I think that the more that I really grasp that and realize like how many people end up in our criminal system and things like that because of mental illness, it's really kind of heartbreaking and kind of sad because if you look at some of these disorders and things that people have, for them to end up kind of in the criminal side of things, I know we don't have a great system for addressing that, and I'm sure that John Montgomery and other people would be agree totally because, they kind of have to bear the brunt of that a lot of times that people get put in jail. And it's really not the best place for them because they're dealing with those co-occurring disorders, and it's kind of like what came first, the chicken or the egg? It's like, did you have a mental illness that you were kind of like self-medicating with this substance, which happens quite a bit? Or is that the opposite? That a lot of times you can start a substance that can lead to or at least exacerbate a pre-existing mental disorder. And so I was thinking sometime when I'm on another time, I'll see if Jody Leaker can come from Baxter Regional's Behavioral Health Unit. She's the director of that because I really feel like a lot of our things coincide. And I know she has a lot of people in her unit that have a lot of addiction issues as well.
You got time for a dumb question?
Every day, yeah. I'm really good at dumb answers, so this is going to work out perfect.
Can a person have a mental illness and not know it?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, 100% yes. And I think that's kind of what happens sometimes. So I think either it goes undiagnosed because either one, they don't really realize fully what it is, or they don't want to get treatment because we're going to go back to that stigma word, because who wants to be labeled as having a mental illness, which is so sad because it literally is the same thing as having like, I have a problem with my kidney. I have a problem with my brain functioning. It's just another organ that has, a malfunction essentially. So you have to treat it that way. And I hate that people feel like they don't want to do that. I understand that, but
when Sheriff Montgomery, you mentioned John Montgomery, when the sheriff's here, and sometimes we talk about repeat offenders.
Yes.
And there's been times where Channel 3 came down, and I remember Sarah holding some papers, says, this guy's been in and out 58 times.
Yeah, I know.
I can drive from here to my house on various roads. Not one time do I think, ooh, I wonder if they got diamonds and rubies and emeralds in there,
Or oxycodone.
I don't even. That sounds like something I put in the laundry to get it clean.
Yeah. Well, it might work. I don't know.
But I don't care what's in somebody's house. But these guys are casing these things. Oh,
right.
And they even say on the news, if you buy a new TV, don't put the box in the trash.
Absolutely. And don't post on social media if you're going out of town on vacation or that you have new things in your home because people are like, oh, they're going to be out of town. Maybe I'll roll by there and see what they've got. And I think I have kind of like mixed feelings on this. So on one hand, I don't think it's an excuse. No matter what condition you have, mental illness, it's not an excuse to be a criminal. I mean, that's what it boils down to. But I do think a lot of people could benefit from more mental health treatment to help keep people from reoffending. Now, that's not everyone. Some people just make really bad choices. they just really don't have a good conscience, and they really just don't care.
Some people that, they grew up stealing, they grew up this, and that's all they know. So in their mind, yes, when they drive by a house, they're thinking differently than you, because that's how they were raised.
Very much so.
That this is how we get by, this is how we do things.
Right.
Other people, I think it is a mental situation. When you look at people, doing stuff with the kids and the trafficking, and I think some of them people have some really big mental issues.
I can't fathom that at all.
Terrible.
I mean, a pedophile. It's just that crawls all.
I think there's definitely
a
mental change there. That's.
And a lot of it is generational, like you said. And if you think, and again, I'm sorry to sound, I hope I don't sound harsh, but I don't give anybody a free pass per se, because I still think that you have to own up to whatever it is that you've gone through, get help for it, and make changes. But I do think that when you've been raised in an environment like that, like if you really stop and think about that from the time you're born, and that's literally what you've seen and been taught and is literally in your DNA, it's hard to make a change, but it's certainly not impossible. We see people all the time that make life-changing decisions that came from horrible situations. So it's not an excuse, but I just think that it's an absolute component in recovery for some people that if you don't address it, it's really never going to get better long term. Even, and I hate to say this, but I mean, you talked about pedophiles. Believe me, that's top of mine and probably everyone's list of, wow, hard to forgive and deal with that. But again, a lot of those people grew up in that type of environment. And if we don't address that, we're not doing our community a service, because I think that has to be addressed. So one other thing I'll mention, and again, this is probably just because it's fresh on my mind, because I did a training recently, and it was just about this lady that grew up kind of in the ghetto, for lack of a better word, and she's went through, I mean, I can't even go into all the detail of the horrific things that she went through. I mean, as bad as you can imagine, that bad and worse, like drugs, sexual abuse, just horrible. But when she told her story about how starting at a very young age, I want to say like 7, 9, she was always neglected and kind of abused at a young age. But then I think the sexual abuse started around like 7 or 9. Her mother was like an alcoholic and drug addict, and she very much had to fend for herself and try to take care of her siblings, was made fun of at school because she was never clean, just all. So when you saw how her life progressed and how many, you were talking about I always say this word wrong, recidivism rate, when you keep getting arrested and arrested and back in prison. She was arrested and had like, I forget, it was like 60 or something arrests or felonies. I mean, it was a lot. It was the kind of person, I hate to say it, that you'd be like, this person is never going to get it together. Why would they keep doing this? But when you hear her story, it was so compelling and heartbreaking when you understood how she got started in these things. And if you look at the percentage of people that end up in an addiction that started from a trauma environment as a child, it's a large number. So again, I just feel like there can't be enough services to try to kind of help people. And again, this is not everyone. We can't give everyone a break, but I think that we really need to dig in a little bit more and see what started these things, which is why, like, first step, we're the medical part. We do the detox. We insist that you have an aftercare plan, because if you leave detox and sure, we've got you stabilized medically, but if you've got all this emotional baggage and things you've gone through your whole life and you don't address that, you're really going to find yourself right back in the same patterns, I feel like. That's my soapbox.
Boy, I tell you, people are suffering out there.
They are.
We might as well take the 30 break. Come up on 7:30. Then when we come back from the break, we got a big event coming up on Saturday we want to tell people about. So stick around. More with Jamie Leach from First Step right after this. Take a step back in time when going to a barbershop meant more than just getting a haircut. Come into Legionnaire Barbershop today, a unique gentleman's barbershop. Get back in style with 2 experienced licensed barbers who are trained in tonsorial arts and lock removal and are happy to give you a straight razor shave. Legionnaire Barbershop is veteran-owned and operated and located at 1041 Highland Circle, Suite 55 in Mountain Home. For a full, old-fashioned barbershop experience, stop by Legionnaire Barbershop today.
It takes the right gear to survive out here. Oh, there she is, Ferris. It's the best gear around. Strong as an ox. Safe as houses. Out back, there's one powerful beast. Awesome. 4-wheel suspension. Handles whatever Mother Nature throws at you. Designed to take the hard out of hard work and deliver all the power you could need. So if you want to tackle the great outdoors, get yourself a Ferris.
Get the only mower with suspension technology at Mower Warehouse in Mountain Home, where they accept mower trade-ins, have flexible financing options, and services all brands and models. That's Mower Warehouse, located on Buzzard Roost in Mountain Home.
When you think about Hospice of the Ozarks, it's our desire that you think about finding a way to live your life to the fullest while living with a serious illness. If you ever need help and support, we provide a team of healthcare professionals and volunteers that will support your physical, emotional, and spiritual aspects of life while doing the same for your family and caregivers in the comfort of your own home or wherever you call home. When you think about Hospice of the Ozarks, we hope that you grant us permission to walk on the journey with you. Your not-for-profit option since 1979.
At Connor Family Funeral Home, our goal is to provide our friends and neighbors with caring, compassionate services at an affordable price. Connor Family is a full-service funeral home that offers a wide range of services to meet your family's needs and customs. We are the first on-site crematory in the area and provide many options to memorialize your loved ones and address all the details for a more personalized service. Where compassion and affordability meet, Connor Family Funeral Home in Mountain Home. At Letty's Mexican Restaurant, we are here to keep you safe during these difficult times, as well as serve you the best Mexican food in the area. That's why we have installed a convenient drive-thru window for all your to-go and pick-up orders. Give us a call at 870-435-2532 to order your next meal, whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and ask us about our daily specials for a low price to feed the whole family. Experience the best in Mexican cuisine. Letty's in Gassville.
$7:33. Visit with Jamie Leach for First Step Baxter Regional. Big event coming up this Saturday.
Yes, I'm so happy. We have an event with people. It's like in the COVID world, it's so exciting to have something to do. So this is not my event, so I want to give credit where credit is due. So Andrew Moran's, is that how you say it? Moran's Lawn Center, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
His family owns Moran's Lawn Center. Again, I'm sorry if I'm butchering that. But he came to me pre-COVID and said that he wanted to have an event, and he had kind of gotten with our mayor about it, and it got delayed for obvious reasons. But he's just, he's a young guy, but he's really passionate about people in recovery. And he just wants to help, like we all do, kind of end that stigma and let people know what resources are available in the community. And so, of course, I was all about that. So I really, again, won't take credit because he's really done the planning on this. I mean, this has all been him, and I've just tried to kind of help him put the word out there and get some vendors, I guess you would say, involved. Sure. And so it's going to be Saturday, this Saturday, October 10th at Hickory Park.
Can we throw that up there, Scooter?
Yeah, please, that'd be awesome.
You had it on. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Drug Aware Fair. And so, like it says, raise awareness of facilities around Baxter County to support those in recovery. And so it's just kind of an informal deal. You can just come and go as you please. It's certainly not something you have to stay for the whole time. and there's going to be the 9N band. I don't know much about them, and I really should have looked them up before today.
A pretty good band.
But I've heard of them. Yes, I have heard of them before, and so they're going to be there playing. I think their part's going to be like 11 to 1 maybe, but anyway, they're there. And then at the curb, food truck will be there, so you can purchase food, which who doesn't like that? And so it's just going to be a fun time, and we're going to have, I know obviously you see the Care Center logo in the corner, so they're like a sponsor of this, so they'll be there. I think there's going to be some people kind of giving like their testimony or their experience going through recovery. Like it says, there'll be a raffle, there'll be some door prizes. I know some of the other, so it'll be, you know, obviously Andrew is leading this, leading the event. Care Center, First Step from Baxter Regional, me, I'll be there. There's a lady named Tawana Manning that does like tobacco cessation, so that's also important, something we forget about. So she'll be there with a lot of information and free services she can provide. Serenity, the women's home for, you know, women, well, men or women that have been abused, they'll be there. Into the Light, which is that kind of human, you know, the trafficking organization, they're going to have someone there. Gosh, I'm trying to think. I should have wrote this down. There's going to be at least a handful of other people I know that I've invited that are coming, and then I'm not sure who all Andrew has talked to as well. So
it's going to be a big event.
It is. I'm excited. I really am, and I appreciate our mayor kind of finally, you know, allowing this to happen, because I know we had to wait, and I understand. And so, you know, wear a mask if you want to. Don't if you don't want to, but we can be socially distanced and still have some interaction. And, you know, if you're watching and you have a recovery service and I have not reached out to you and you want to come and like kind of just talk to people or put out your materials or whatever, please feel free to join us. There'll be tables provided, so either just call me at First Step, or I mean, even if you just show up, honestly, I'm sure we can figure it out. But please come show your support. If you're in recovery, if you know someone in recovery, if you just care and want to say hi, just come and say hi and roll through for a little bit. It's the park. If you want to bring your kids, let your kids play, grab some food, and we would just love to have everyone come out and show their support. I think it's supposed to be a nice day, so be good for it. Yeah.
Drug Aware Fair, October 10th, 10:30 to 2, Hickory Park. Raise awareness of facilities around Baxter County to support those in recovery. So that's going to be good, much needed. I'm glad to see that. I got something I wanted to ask you.
Sure.
When I was in Murfreesboro, my son handed me this little bottle of aspirin. I looked at it, you know, let you see these. These are, you know, like, is that aspirin? You know, it'd make you wonder.
Yeah.
But now if you look real close, and I've got a picture of it somewhere. Let me see if I can bring it up. Oh, I think it's on the web. Let me bring it up here. What I did is I went yellow pill with inscription 81, and it says pill with imprint 81 is yellow, round, and has been identified as aspirin delayed release 81 milligrams. Are all medications identified like this?
Well, I believe that technically, yes, that they should be. But the thing is, which that's a good thing. I don't know what exact site that is, but I've looked things up before too. And typically you can figure out what it is. The thing now, and I know I've said this before that I think is disturbing, is there's kind of like these pill mills that make pills to look exactly like this. So like, again, say if you know, God forbid, you're getting a medication off the street. Of course you shouldn't be, but it happens. And so you think you're buying like a Xanax or an oxycodone or whatever it is, and it might look exactly, and if you were to look it up, it's going to tell you that's what it is. But again, you know, we've talked about fentanyl, which is a super strong painkiller, more for like a cancer patient, you know, people that really, really have to have, you know, extreme relief, you know, from chronic pain or from pain that's going to lead to death.
Yeah.
And so not something the typical person would use, I guess is what I'm saying. It's not something you need for your basic aches and pains. And so a lot of times, you know, Mr. Handy drug dealer, that fentanyl makes their drug go further for cheaper. And so they'll put that in those pills, you know, and then you get that and you think you know what you're getting, but you really don't. And so fentanyl is can be very deadly in very, very small doses. So so that's just an added complication.
That if you had fentanyl on Lincoln's ear on a penny.
Yes, that's what they say. If you had the amount of that would cover Lincoln's ear, on a penny, which is, I mean, minute, that is enough. That can be enough to overdose and kill someone. So that always like freaks me out, because I'm like, these people that are on drugs that are making these drugs, you know, they're
not scientists.
They're not scientists. Yeah, I know. So like, And then if they're putting in like heroin and stuff, you know, that's even harder to kind of measure really, because it's like a powder or a tar. So even more hard to measure when it's kind of like Russian roulette is the way I see it. And it's not uncommon around here too, because at first, when I first started, you know, hearing more about the fentanyl, which has been a while ago now, it was like you kind of read about it, heard about it, but it was more in those other states or other places, bigger cities, and it's not at all anymore. It's very common. Not only that, but just people using the straight fentanyl. So you can like eat the patches, smoke them. You can inject fentanyl there. So it's pretty common even in our area, unfortunately.
I can't imagine.
No, me, yeah.
Oh. Years ago, I was working at a auto parts. Guy came in, he wanted a gallon of battery acid and a case of carburetor cleaner. Now, you know about carburetor cleaner. You know, we don't use carburetors hardly anymore unless you're doing an old car. But, I mean, I could more than likely spray it even on this wood and wipe the paint off.
Right.
Literally. I've had carburetor cleaner and lacquer thinner in my left eye, and it burns like crazy. I've had gasoline in my left ear, it burns like crazy.
Right.
And these guys are mixing battery acid and carburetor cleaner for meth.
Right.
And they're using it to cut the drugs with.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. And people, you know, it's like, and it sounds so crazy. Like, who in their right mind would put that in their body knowing? But especially once you already get into being addicted, it doesn't, at that point, you don't really care. You just want to feel better, you know, or high in the beginning and then essentially just remain head above water. So, yeah, it's really disturbing. And one of the drugs that's kind of like made its way into our area, and I know this from a patient telling me, but it's called gray death.
Gray death.
I laugh like that's fun. It's not funny. I just laugh because it's like, it goes to show how deep an addiction would go, because why, like, who's going to go, ooh.
Is that a pill
like some
or
gray
a
death.
mixture? Or what is
gray death is more like an opiate blend, if you will. I think it's more like a synthetic opiate blend. I should have I had some cards on that, but I didn't think about that today. So yeah, and then not only that, so you've got the actual drug, which sometimes itself, like you're saying, is made with crazy things. And then you've got the people that kind of get passed it down to that want to make money, so they're cutting it again, and they're putting just something they can find around the house that's a powder or whatever to cut into that. So who knows?
Breaking capsules open.
Yeah. So really, you know, you really truly don't know what you're getting. I know they make some of the I can't think of the word I'm looking for. Recovery places make these fentanyl testing strips. So, and it sounds kind of weird. It sounds like you're enabling, but if someone is going to use heroin or something, for example, they make these little strips that they can like put in it. It's kind of like a tester that shows if it has fentanyl in it. And the idea is, obviously, you don't want people using anything, but you certainly don't want them to die.
Litmus test for drugs.
Yeah, thank you. That's the word I was looking for. So it's kind of bizarre, but yeah, once you kind of get into that world of addiction, you kind of think a lot less about your own health, really. It's not so much about being healthy as it is being high or being just not sick anymore. So, yeah. Well, that's what I always tell people, because I see you shake your head. It's like, when you're dealing with addiction, you can't expect it to make sense, and you can't expect it to be a very black and white thing. Like, just because someone tries to get help one time doesn't, we hope and pray it's a one and done, but that statistically that's not always true.
I feel for these people that are going through this.
Mm-hmm. Oh, me too. It's horrible, and not only that, but going back to, we were kind of just alluding to like things that happen to kids earlier a few minutes ago. And that's the thing too, you know, a lot of these people have children and young children, and you think, oh gosh, what do they have to see and go through every day, you know?
Well, you know, Jamie, something comes to mind. We've probably all seen that movie, It's a Wonderful Life, at Christmas. Mm-hmm. There's a scene in there where Clarence the Angel just kind of disappears while the policeman is trying to arrest him, and he disappears, and all of a sudden, taxi driver says, I need a drink.
Yeah.
Think about, I need a drink.
Yeah.
No. You know.
You're right. Right. It's, well, you feel like you need a drink. And with alcohol, you kind of can need a drink because your body becomes physically dependent. So you don't want to get sick, you know, so you kind of need it to keep from getting sick. But I think that's a good point, because it's kind of a mindset. It's kind of learning how to find alternate coping mechanisms. So if you've got anxiety, depression, those and that kind of reminds me more of the anxiety that I need. It's learning how to kind of like sit in that moment and feel that and recognize what that anxiety is and learn different ways to cope with it instead of reaching for something that's just going to make it worse, because alcohol always makes your anxiety worse.
There's another line in MASH, and this is in the later series, where Hawkeye's gone on the wagon. He stopped drinking, and he gets to irritating everybody because you're drinking to my drink, and finally they're all in the bar, and everybody's ordering a drink, and he orders a scotch, and they all look at him, and then he takes the drink, he looks at it, and he sets it down, he says, I'll come back and get it when I want it, not when I need it.
Oh, yeah.
There's a difference.
Yeah, it is a difference. That's a difference, which I think sometimes it irritates people that struggle with alcohol, because there are people that can drink socially and have a glass of wine or a beer or whatever, and that's fine. And they don't feel like they need it. They just are enjoying it. They don't ever go home and think they need to go, keep it stocked or have to have it as soon as they wake up in the morning. But some people do, and that is the difference. And recognizing that is just even part of your recovery, just going, this is a struggle for me, instead of just trying to control it and get frustrated that you can't, is kind of going, you know what, I really can't control it, and I probably need some help with it.
With that, we're going to take another break. Scooter, hit the button. Be right back.
Driftwood Lanes. Fun happens here.
When you're out of town, make sure your pet is with someone who will love them as much as you do. At 201 Pet Salon and Resort, your pet is cared for just as they would be at home. 201 Pet Salon and Resort is the only all-suite climate-controlled and air-filtered boarding facility in the area, with private and spacious rooms to keep your pet relaxed. And with over 3/4 of an acre of fenced play area, your pet will receive the proper exercise they deserve. 201 also offers professional grooming services. Your best friend is in good hands at 201 Pet Salon and Resort in Mountain Home.
Have you ever noticed every time you wash your car, you end up wetter than the actual car? Next time, run down to Car Care and let the friendly staff put a smile on your face. Car Care of Mountain Home has a variety of services to clean your vehicle's needs, inside and out. From a simple wash and shine to their outstanding detail services. Located 1525 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. Stop by Car Care Mountain Home today, because driving a clean car always makes you feel good.
I want to create characters that can fly.
No matter what it is you want out of life, there is a path to get there.
When I grow up, I don't know what I want to do when I grow up, but I know I want to go to college.
Arkansas State University Mountain Home. Take your first step at asumh.edu.
$7:49, finishing out the program today with Jamie Leach from First Step of Baxter Regional Medical Center. And we've covered a lot of ground today, and I want to go back and reiterate. Ooh, I think I lost that. No, I didn't. There it is. Coming up on Saturday, October 10th from 10:30 to 2 in Hickory Park, the Drug Aware Fair. Raise awareness of facilities around Baxter County to support those in recovery. In the last month to 2 months, we've covered a lot of ground on some of these social issues in drug awareness, and then of course the human trafficking. On Mondays now we're doing Missing Mondays, and we're talking about missing people, especially children. This week was predators on the internet.
Oh, wow.
In fact, Mr. Organization here, let me pull this, see if I still have this paper here. This will scare you too, but this is something else we need to be aware of. Take a look at that. You know, and so this is much needed, the drug aware fair, as much as this is needed here.
I think that I think this is amazing that you're doing this. I think that's extremely important, especially, I mean, now in today's world where our children are all online all the time. I mean, my son is, and I try to have this talk with him all the time. Like, don't ever give out personal information. Yeah. Don't ever, like, hopefully he's not even connecting with anyone anyway that he doesn't know online. But it just, it's amazing how quickly that can happen.
What are the chances that somebody, now I'm going to say that guy is maybe my age or younger, I'm guessing between 50 and 60. What's the chances that he could be abusing drugs?
Oh, sure. Well, yes, absolutely. And then not only that, but of course, a lot of times what happens is once they get the children or the young people or whoever it is, you know, they keep them on the drugs because it kind of keeps them, you know.
They give them just enough heroin. Now, you need to go see Joe. Joe's going to have a game for you to play. And if you play the game, you get your medicine.
Right.
If not, then they're going down cold turkey.
I just can't even, I just can't even really talk about that. It makes me so mad. But yes, that's exactly what happens. And so they're dependent on them. And, I mean, not only are they young and impressionable anyway and can be scared into submission, but then you add that component to it. I mean, they're hooked. And, wow, that's a heartbreaker. I'm so glad you're doing that. I think that's really important.
You know, it's been kind of hard to pull off because we're working in conjunction with the Morgan Nick Foundation and Attorney General Leslie Rutledge. Brent Weaver's been helping me with this. And, I mean, when you see, like, well, for instance, right here, this young lady took off with an older guy, 13-year-old girl, and a guy 47 years old. And, she was found in a storage unit in Conway.
Jeez. Whatever the laws are for people they find that are doing that, I'm pretty sure they're not strict enough because I just don't know that there could be enough punishment for that.
Well, and I think Senator Missy Irvin called me and said we need to have stricter punishments, you know, in the courts for this.
Absolutely.
And had wanted to talk. Of course, we had David Etheridge here, the prosecuting attorney for 14th Judicial District. And I mean, David goes for the juggler, man. I mean, he don't put up that stuff.
Good job, David. I know him. Yes, good. As he should. I think that there should not. What worse thing could there be than hurting children? Like, I mean, what if that's not the most punishable crime? I don't know what is. It should be.
I don't treat my little dog that bad.
No, these people. Going back to not having excuses for poor behavior. I'm sorry. Whatever it is, you need to deal with it because we're not giving you a pass because you have a problem. Not on that. So, and yes, I think that I always kind of say with like the drug abuse and everything, a lot of these things are so intertwined. And so I think a lot of our efforts, you know, do cross paths. And that's good because the more we can kind of realize how we overlap in different areas, then hopefully the more help and the more voice we can have about it. So, you know, the criminal system, it's just the foster care system, all of our things kind of cross paths in that way. So,
you know, we got to protect the kids, and we, you know,
absolutely.
And I know kids are going to be there. Go ahead.
You look at the drug side, which I know is what you deal with, and when you're looking at younger kids that are starting to use drugs and starting to do this, their inhibitions go down. Their guard goes down. They're willing to start trying different things, and that's where some of the sex trafficking comes into play, and this and that. It's if it wasn't for the drugs, they may not have chosen that avenue.
Right, absolutely.
Very much so. Trying to get them aware on the first step with the drugs and stuff. These are the roads you're going down. These are the decisions you're making, even to try this drug.
Absolutely.
You can be hooked after the first time.
Right.
And it can lead to all these things because you're trying to chase that high. Your inhibition's dropping. You're willing to do more things for it. And that's where, you know, some of these kids can go down the wrong path.
So when I won't quote the ages because I can't remember specifically, but, you know, essentially your brain isn't like formed completely till you're 25-ish, somewhere in there. Yeah. So all that that's still forming is all that decision making, that kind of impulse control, and all those things. So you're already at a disadvantage as a younger person because that's not done. So you have these older people coming in taking advantage of that, and then the drug itself also, that's the part of the brain that it affects. So you're even more at a disadvantage, and the younger you start the drug, the more problems you'll have in those areas with that decision making, impulse control, and all of those things. So it just kind of snowballs from there. So definitely they're not really realizing what they're getting into, and then the drug just makes it worse.
I'm sitting there thinking while you're talking, back in my younger days of some of the big engine cars we used to have, our thrill was how fast will they run?
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't anything to do about drugs. Our thrill came, hey, man, I got it to 127 miles an hour. Yeah.
I mean, I'd rather people be doing that than, and I think that, but like, you've said that before, and it's a good point because, again, finding something to be involved in instead of these kids that especially do come from these generational, drug addicted families, or just, unfortunately, just poverty stricken or different things. If they can find something to be accepted and involved in that's positive, that's definitely a deterrent from using drugs. So whether it be working on cars or sports, all of that is really important. I think that's, and if their parents aren't at home pushing them to do that or recognizing their good qualities or their strengths, hopefully in our schools, communities, churches, we can try to look for that in these kids and draw them in to something because their parents probably aren't doing it.
Yeah, because we go back into the day when, you'd have 3 or 4 guys over. We got down to the point where we could take a V8 engine out of a Chevy truck and we could change engines in 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Pull it in, pop the hood, 1 guy under, 2 guys on top, take an engine out, put an engine in, drive it home. 3 hours.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. And you feel, I mean, you've got a skill and you feel, productive, and it's something cool. And I mean, that's a perfect thing to put your time and energy into instead of spending your money on drugs and alcohol.
Bob was here this morning. Bob's been involved in football, 25 to 30 years now, keeping kids involved there.
Yeah.
And then you have other programs. It's just,
kids long to be accepted. That's one of their biggest things. They want to feel like they're involved in something and that they're accepted. And when they're ignored in other places, and I guarantee the kids doing the drugs and stuff are willing to accept anybody.
They are. That's the thing.
Yeah,
that's the thing. They absolutely will.
I know I'm short on time
you.
here, but think of the young girls, 12, 13, 14, 15, becoming a young woman. They want to be pretty and accepted.
Yeah.
And they see the checkout lines, the Cosmos and all this stuff, and the catalogs that come in the mail. Fantasy versus reality here, the self-esteem issues too.
Oh, absolutely. That's a huge thing too. Just that acceptance, and unfortunately some drugs will help you lose weight and things in the beginning. Of course, that doesn't turn out well in the end. But there are a lot of underlying factors. Yeah, self-esteem for sure, acceptance, all those things.
You just can't look at the girls on that too. You got to look at the boys that want to be cool.
Right.
They want to be in the cool crowd.
Yeah.
They want to be, and it's all on what their impression of cool is.
Right. Yep. And they don't really get what it's going to be in the long run. And you can tell them, but they think they're never going to be that way or that old like we are. They think they're going to be young forever. So.
Yeah.
Didn't work out for me either, but.
Drug Aware Fair, Saturday, October 10th from 10:30 to 2 at Hickory Park, raising awareness of the facilities around Baxter County to support those in recovery. And for more information, holler at Jamie.
Yes, please do. Do I have a second to
Sure,
give for?
yeah,
Okay.
good.
Also, just as a reminder for First Step, if you need help with drugs or alcohol, detox, or if you have any other questions that's not detox related, call me 870-508-7590. I'm at Baxter Regional, and I'd love to talk to you and help you out. So please give me a call. All confidential, of course.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, very confidential, and it's a great program, much needed, and it's good to see Baxter Regional investing in that. Scooter, you got something for us?
You can just tell from talking here that you call over there looking for help, they're not going to judge you.
No.
I mean,
No.
Absolutely not.
She's one, I mean, even sitting here today, she's talking about a story of what this girl went through, blah, blah, blah. You've got a history that got you to where you're at.
Right.
And you're not going to be judged for
No.
that. Their only goal is for
Move
you
forward.
to get better
Yes.
and looking forward.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely.
The past is the past. Don't dwell on it. Get better.
Right.
Call Jamie at First Step.
Right. There's things that can be repaired. I know it seems like a lot of things are broken beyond repair, but I don't believe that. I think anything can be repaired. And if we can be a small part in helping with that, let's do it. The only sad thing would be not calling or not getting help and just staying stuck in it. So
that phone number once again, Jamie?
870-508-7590.
Call First Step today. We'll give her a chance to get back to the office.
Yeah, give me a few minutes and then call.
All right, that wraps it up. Thanks, Jamie, for being here. We'll see you all tomorrow.
Thanks.